Thiagarajan, MD at Blue Star, as well as Nilesh Gupta, MD Vijay Sales, now joining in. Thank you so much for taking time on, Mr. Thiagarajan. I'm going to begin with you. What was it like in terms of the demand trends for the summer months? Scorching heat. I'd imagine that between March to June, there was significant growth achieved.
Good morning. It's a pleasure interacting with you. Yes, it was an unprecedented summer season. It exceeded our expectations. We all were hoping for somewhere around 30% growth. But right from the last week of March, when the growth was around 40%, it was over 75% in April. And I thought that it will slow down in May, but May again was something like 80%. While the southern part of India, it has now summer is over, north it still continues. I think June is going to be another month where it will be around 50% growth. And I think for the first time, the summer months will witness more than 60% growth. It has to be also read in conjunction with what was a washout summer last year. So therefore, one can discount around 15-20% out of this total growth, but it is a record summer season which we have not witnessed in the industry.
Absolutely. Nilesh, hi morning. If I could get you in on the conversation as well. I know it's been 2 days of heavy rain here in Mumbai, but given that March to May is, typically the peak season for AC sales, tell me how that period has shaped up for you, and did you really see heightened demand?
So good morning, everybody. Happy to be here. I will second whatever Mr. Thiagarajan has said. This has been one of the best summers we have ever seen. In fact, the last great summer which we had was in 2016, and this has superseded even the 2016 numbers. All of a sudden, I think this time the heat wave was too high, too much, and secondly, it didn't abate. Last year, we had a very poor summer season because what was happening every week, non-stop, twice a week, we used to see intermittent showers, which used to bring down the temperature, and the consumers didn't feel the need for the air conditioners. I think this time it's been the reverse. On the contrary, to an extent, the temperature has gone up so high that even after putting in the air conditioners, the room was not getting cooled because we are not used to these temperatures. But nevertheless, the sales have been upward of 60 to 70% growth, which we have seen. And although in the south and the west, we'll see the end of the summer, it will slow down, but north is still going strong. And we expect that it will go strong till mid of July or maybe end of July also. So in a nutshell, this is one summer which I think we'll never forget on a positive note.
You all will not forget on a positive note, Mr. Gupta, but surely we faced the heat and that was not quite on the positive side. But Mr. Thiagarajan, like Mr. Gupta was also mentioning, right, North, that is still seeing, and that sales will still continue even in maybe in July. But could you give some light in terms of the tier 2, tier 3 cities? How was that performance in terms of the sales, AC sales? And specific in terms of demand trends, was it more 5-star ACs or 2-star ACs? What was the trend there?
See, tier 3, 4, 5 have been contributing significantly. My estimate is that it's close to 65% for the industry comes from tier 3, 4, 5. In our case, it is around 68% or so. The important thing is more than 90% are first-time buyers. And Nilesh will be able to explain further. The consumer finance scheme-led sales is touching around 55%. In some towns, it is even 65% are through consumer finance. So if you look at it, the growth is driven by aspirational middle class, growth is driven by first-time buyers, growth is driven by tier 3, 4, 5. Consumer finance-led sales is very significant. It will be next to only home and auto. This industry is consuming so much of that NBFC-led finance. So the trend is very clear that from the current market size of around 11.5 million. It is likely to cross 25 million within 5 years. Also 2030, we should be having a market size of close to around 25 million units or even more. And imagine the air conditioners, unlike other categories, could be more than one at home. If it is a washing machine or a refrigerator, it will be generally one. Here, it could be even 2 or 3. So there is immense potential in this industry, and everyone is going to benefit. Specifically, the channels like Vijay Sales are playing an important role in pushing up these sales as well.
Thiagarajan, did demand overshoot supply? What was the inventory like?
So Nilesh will shout at us. We couldn't fulfill the demand in April. March was okay. In April, I think more than 25% of sales we couldn't supply at all. Even if we supply, the customers had to wait for more than 2 days. Even if it is delivered, the installation took at least 2 days for it to happen. In May, we recovered to a very large extent. That's not a problem. And in the past 15 days, we could deliver what we are supposed to be. See, generally in a good summer season, 1 or 2 SKUs would have been a difficult thing for matching the supply versus demand. But this time, it outstripped. All of us suffered. And in the process, we would have also lost some sales.
Right, and Mr. Gupta, just a final question in terms of how much of the shouting did you have to do for other companies as well in terms of inventories overall for ACs, as well as, how was refrigerators, those demand trends as well?
So luckily, in air conditioning, one good thing which you realize during these times is there are many brands available. So yes, we had to do a little bit of shouting with each of the brands, but somehow or the other, at any given point of time, we had stocks, if not of A model, B model, if not of A brand, B brand. But even in amongst the brand, we never went out of stock for any brand as such. Yes, model specificity, there were bouts of no stocks, but it was very much manageable. So any consumer who walked in a Vijay Sales store did not have to go back without an air conditioning saying the stock is not there. Secondly, on the refrigerator front also, after a long time, we have seen a growth in refrigerator. This year, we have seen nearly 20% growth in the summer season in refrigerator, which I think is a very positive sign. And although you have not asked this, but let me add, the best part is in spite of the air conditioners, refrigerators and air coolers growing so high, we did not see a drop in any other category. So this also tells us that the consumer is in a spending mode, and this should be one of the best years for our industry.
All right, and on that very positive note, we'll wrap up the discussion. Good getting an all-round view as to what the demand situation is like, inventory levels, as well as what the outlook as well is for the entire consumer durables sector.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.